Ladies and gents, welcome to episode 21. Can you do something for me? Can you hit a little rich flex for me? Ain't hitting no rich flex after them bets last weekend. We ain't do shit. We sucks. But welcome to episode 21. I'm one half of your host, Hugo the Boss. Hugo got next. Joined by my co-host,
Boogie Kahuna, Broke Kahuna, Big Loser but Kahuna. Man, that shit was rough yesterday. Not yesterday, Saturday. Anyway, go ahead.
And before we get into any of that hoopla, you already know the routine. Follow, like, comment, subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Everybody watching on YouTube right now, don't forget to hit the like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, you already know. But yeah, we're gonna move into this this UFC. What is this? The Vegas card?
This is UFC Vegas 77.
77. Before we get into that, we're gonna recap UFC 290, which, by the way, guys, it is a card worth replaying. It's one of the best cards, arguably the best card of the year. Great card just for MMA. Terrible night at bets for myself, my brother, and a couple of other people, but
at least for us,
we'll keep accountability on ourselves because we don't run away from bad cards. Arguably the worst card I've ever had, ever. I've never had a card where I've made this many bad picks. I'm not too mad because I've been doing good for the last 3 months. I haven't had a losing weekend in 3 months.
I'm a little salty, so
yeah.
I can't wake up and not think about this fucking card. I can't believe how tossed I got. It was a great card.
Yeah.
As a fan.
Yeah.
But man, I got tossed on this card, bro.
Me and you both, man. Me and you both. But I guess let's recap it off. Let's talk about the fights that we got right because there's so few of them. So, Rivovich, moneyline, and Cameron Simon, TKO, knockout. Half a unit and a unit on Rivovich. Now we're going to talk about, or just recap what we got wrong.
Yeah, it's trying to wear this button out right now. Let's go.
Petrino knockout. He decided to go for a sub. First one in his whole career. Yeah, it was one of those nights, guys.
Actively fishing for that sub.
Aguilar sub on my brother's side.
First ever KO.
Guys, first ever KO, which is insanity.
Shannon Ross, bum.
Jimmy Crute. Moneyline, Tyra sub. He,
I don't think that was a bad bet.
He did cut weight twice within 2 or 3 weeks. So I think that was probably some of it, but I'm not going to lie to you. Him finishing at this point, especially as he gets to a higher level, I'm going to fade him. Because he just doesn't impress. He's good at maintaining control of the back, but he doesn't throw enough ground and pound to open up his subs. Whatever. Bo Nickel decides to get his first knockout in the UFC. We had him by sub. Jalen Turner inside the distance. Hell of a fight. I'm not even mad about that one because they were both close to stopping each other. He head kicked Dan Hooker and broke a bone on his cheekbone. Dan is just
broke his arm too.
Otherworldly tough, man. Yeah. And he winded up losing that fight anyway. But Dricus du Plessis with the upset of the year over our pick Robert Whittaker for the knockout.
That was sick.
Yeah. Brendan Moreno, 2 units, biggest bet of the night. Lost via split decision. Ugh, bone crusher. It is what it is. I had Yair, moneyline. And my brother had Volkanovski decision. Volkanovski decides to finish this boy in the third round.
Third round, brother.
Oh, my goodness. Then both of us had a whole unit on the parlay for Whittaker, Petrino, money lines, and then Volkanovski Rodriguez over a round and a half. Whittaker obviously blew up that parlay. And God, give me a gun.
Game, bro.
I'm getting very depressed.
In a video game.
Talking about this because I've never had this rough of a card. Ever. I'm
not even mad. I'm just surprised. I was actually amazed how bad I was doing.
Yeah. It was such a good card that I didn't give too much of a shit about the bets, but damn, we got tossed. And listen, you know what, guys? And this is a good leeway. I was comfortable losing the units that I lost on that card. I am not comfortable losing the units on this card this weekend.
Wait, you said leeway? Don't you mean segue?
Oh, jeez. Okay. See, I can't talk about UFC 290 because it gets me all depressed and distorted, and I start saying words, and I'm sorry, guys. But it's a good segue into this card because this card is equally or just as dangerous as last week's card to bet on. And we're definitely, I felt comfortable leaving it in the hands of the stars, like the bigger names, and losing on behalf of the bigger names. This card this weekend, I'm going to keep it minimal. I'm going to make sure we make quality bets, and we're definitely not repeating last weekend. That ain't happening. So it is what it is. On to the next one, guys. Here we are, UFC Vegas 77 or 76?
77.
77, headlined by Holm and Mayra Bueno Silva. Ugh. They should just replay UFC 290.
Yeah. Just put it on replay.
This card.
I actually don't want to talk about this card. I'm actually really depressed.
Yeah. This card
sucks.
This card sucks.
I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, a couple of finishes here and there were pretty cool to see, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could turn around to be a decent card, but I don't know. On paper, this card is...
it's rough. It's rough, man.
It's kind of rough.
But let's open it up.
All right, first fight we have in the card here. In the women's bantamweight, we have Ashlee Evans-Smith going one-on-one with Ailin Perez. Ashlee Evans-Smith, 6-5, 36 years old, going one-on-one with Ailin Fiona Perez, 7-2, 28 years old. I mean, I thought Ashlee Evans-Smith was not in the UFC anymore. When was the last time she fought? Like 2 years ago?
You're correct.
Man, I'm going to pick Ailin here. I like her tenacity. I think she's got that dog. I think she's going to probably finish this girl. I don't really have too much to say about this fight. What about you?
I'm with you there. I like Ailin. But Ashlee Evans-Smith does have decent takedown defense and wrestling, and I just don't like Ailin at minus 200. This is I don't want to say it's very low level women's MMA, but it's close. It's a very low level fight. A fight that you probably shouldn't put any money on. Maybe I might look at the rounds to parlay it somewhere, but that's about it. This fight is dangerous to bet on for a lot of reasons. Ashlee Evans, exactly what you said, not active. Ailin Perez, tenacity, but not really all that good. She's okay, you know. This fight's a hard pass for the most part, unless I could figure out something with the rounds.
All right, next fight we have here in the men's lightweight division, we have Carl Deaton, the Anishinaabe kid, going one-on-one with Alex Munoz. Carl Deaton, 17-6, 33 years old, going against Alex Munoz, 6-2, 33 years old. This is another fight where when's the last time Alex Munoz fought? I think that was like another 2 years ago. And I think he's coming off a loss. There's a lot of fighters coming off losses on this card.
There's a prove it card for sure.
It's kind of crazy.
It's a prove it card, right? So
I mean, Alex, I'm going to say he's probably got the wrestling edge here. Carl Deaton's got the striking edge, but I think he should be able to, squeak this one out. I'm not sure who the dog is, but I'm going to go Carl Deaton here.
I'm with you on Deaton, and he's a dog. For a couple of reasons. Alex Munoz, his last fight was against Luis Pena. Pena is no longer in the UFC because he had domestic violence issues, which I believe got dismissed last week. But Luis Pena since then has been 0-3, if I'm correct, on the outer circuit scene. And Carl Deaton's fought the better brand of competition in Joe Solecki. Joe Solecki has proven to be a pretty decent fighter. He's better than Luis Pena for sure. Like, and anyone else that he's fought, that Munoz has fought. So I like Deaton. If I'm correct, I think Deaton also has the size advantage here. I'm going to double check that really quick before I speak, before I speak a little crazy. But I'm pretty sure Deaton, I think, is the bigger guy. No,
okay.
actually, nope.
I'll just correct you. It's all good.
Nope. He is not, actually. He's the smaller guy. So, excuse me there. I like Deaton regardless. I think he's fought the better brand of competition, and I'll leave it there. Not sure if I'm going to bet this fight. I will say that much. But I tell you what, at dog money, considering how last weekend went, well, we should have took a lot more dog spots than we did. I'm tempted. But I also want to make sure that we're putting your money in the best situations possible, guys. So, Deaton for the lean. No bet. Not yet, at least.
All right, next fight we have here. Third fight on the card, flyweight division. Actually, this fight might be a bantamweight, if I'm not mistaken. They got it listed here as flyweight, but I think this is a bantamweight fight. This is going to be Tyson Nam going one-on-one with the debuting Azat Maksum. Oh, there we go. Nam, 21-13-1, 39 years old, going against the debuting Azat, 16-0. Fighting out of Kazakhstan, 28 years old. I mean, 10-year age difference here. Debuting fighter. Kazakhstan. I'm going to lean the new guy.
This fight is a big stay away from me, too. I just think Tyson Nam at plus 310 is a little disrespectful considering that Azat Maksum hasn't fought anyone of significance. Like, his competition is terrible outside the UFC. This fight's a big pass or Tyson Nam by the knockout. I think Tyson Nam by knockout is like a good amount. And listen, I think it's a recency bias with Tyson Nam as well too, because Tyson Nam, who did he knock out recently? Did he knock out Ode Osborne?
That was his last knockout, but I'm not sure. Well, that was the last knockout. Yeah, no, that was his last knockout.
Yeah, and he lost to Bruno Silva after.
Yep, by submission.
Dude, Bruno Silva's a good fucking fighter, man. He's a good fighter. So the fact that he lost to Bruno Silva, it's like, okay, that's not that bad. But the only reason I'm not confident in playing Nam is because he's 40 years old, But Azat he hasn't fought anyone. He has some physical gifts. That's about it. Uses his physicality to overwhelm a lot of his lower level opponents. That's about it. I don't trust him enough, not against a seasoned vet like Nam. This fight's either dog or pass for me or Tyson Nam be a knockout. He's a plus 310 right now on the money line, Tyson Nam. So his knockout's got to be like plus 500.
Or at least plus 4, to be honest.
At least plus 4. I think there's value there. And he's a good counter striker too. So, yeah, this fight's probably a pass. The lean, you like Azat, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot on the newcomer. I mean, he's from Kazakhstan. I feel like the UFC's trying to set this guy up a little bit here.
I agree against a 40-year-old man. And I think, isn't Nam moving up in weight in this fight?
That's what I'm saying. I think they got it listed as a flyweight fight, but I think this is going to be a bantamweight fight. I think this is 135.
Right, but Nam is also big. He's big for flyweight. He's not going to be at a size disadvantage against this guy. That's all I'm going to say. I think Azat might be the lean for that reason, but Nam might be the bet. I'll go that far. I'll go that far with it, yeah. I'll leave it at that. That's about it. Like, I little low level, 40-year-old man. It's a tough spot to bet. It is a tough spot to bet. Too many variables. I've told you guys how I feel about betting on newcomers, especially guys that aren't proven and don't have like really high-level amateur or pro fights before coming to the UFC, which this guy doesn't. So this fight might be a pass as well.
All right, next fight we have here in the lightweight division for the men, we have a Genaro Valdéz. That's how you say his name?
Yep.
Genaro Valdéz going one-on-one with Evan Elder. Rayadito? That's his nickname. I don't know. Valdéz, 10-2, coming from Mexico, 31 years old. Fighting the Phenom, Evan Elder, 7-2. Fighting out of Florida, 26 years old. I like Elder here. I've always liked Elder. I've bet on Elder in the past and lost on Elder in the past, but he arguably won his last fight if it wasn't for the cut. I mean, listen, the cut stoppage is a legit stoppage, but he was winning that fight before the cut. Had a solid showing, a weight class up, short notice against Preston Parsons. Genaro here. I don't trust his chin. He gets knocked down every fight he fights. I mean, granted, he fought like Frivola and like people who could bang, but I think Elder's just a better striker and has the edge, and I think I'm gonna lean him.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I think he's the better fighter. He's minus 285. Once again, chalky as hell. But he's one of the more confident leans I'm gonna have. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna bet it. I think he's super talented. I think he took a much bigger Preston Parsons to the limit. And yeah, he was winning his last fight against Sadykhov, who's fighting later on this card. He was up 2 rounds. Fight got stopped because of a cut. But if that fight doesn't get stopped because of the cut, Evan Elder wins that fight. So, yeah, I like Evan Elder here as the lean. I still have to figure out how to bet it. And I got to wait for these lines to open up for you guys too, before I can give you anything. Because a lot of these lines have not opened up for this fight. Or any of the fights, to be quite frank. But if I had to pick them, probably by knockout, if that's what it would go. But no official bet. Definitely the lean is Elder.
All right, next fight we have here. Jack Della Maddalena going 1-on-1 with Bassil Hafez. Jack Della, 14-2, fighting out of Australia, 26 years old, going 1-on-1 with the debuting Bassil Hafez. 8-3, fighting out of Pennsylvania, 31 years old. This is probably, Jack Della, obviously.
Probably.
I mean, probably. Who knows? Because, again, the rumor is, word on the street is Jack Della, might have some holes in his wrestling game. Bassil, one of those guys who wants to fight.
On the floor,
wants to wrestle. He's got power in his hands, but, I think he prefers the grappling. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm going to lean Jack Della, but, I mean, if Bassil wrestles and then, is as good as, people think he is, who knows? Don't know how I'm going to bet it either, but I think Jack Della's the lean. What about you?
Yeah, Jack Della's definitely the lean. It's just a hard thing to bet because Jack is opening up at a minus 625. I agree, Bassil does have a ground game. Most of his wins are by submission. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get it there. That's one. And two, Bassil also has a great chin because he's been in there with Jeremiah Wells, which means not only do you have to have a great chin with someone that hits as hard as Jeremiah Wells, but you also have to have a pretty good ground game to survive with someone on the floor like Jeremiah Wells.
I mean, he fought Jeremiah to a draw, so
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeremiah kind of got exposed his last fight with what's homeboy's name? Sellinsberger, who's a beast. Don't get me wrong, but Jeremiah Wells not a great striker. Realistically, doesn't have precision in his punches. Just has a ton of power. Throws a lot of singles really well. Jack Della throws in combinations and he throws with precision. If I had to bet the fight, it's probably going to be Jack by knockout. I'd go that far. But if this went to decision, would I be surprised? No. Once again, guys, a very, very, very scary card to bet on for a lot of reasons. And we're gonna take care of your money this week. We can't have what happened last week happening again. So if I have any doubts, I'm gonna weigh out the pros and cons, and then we're gonna figure it out. And the same thing with my brother over here. So, but Jack for sure is the lean. Whether he's gonna win by knockout or not, I'm gonna let you know. But I'm confident Bassil hasn't fought anyone that has Jack's precision and timing. I'm confident in that. Power, sure. The precision is what gets you out, and the shots you don't see coming are the ones that knock you out. And Jack has that. So Jack's the lead. Jack by knockout might be the bet. We'll see. On to the next.
All right, next fight we have here, we have Austin Lingo going 1-on-1 with Melquizael Costa. And this is going to be in the featherweight division. We have Lights Out Lingo, 9-2. Dallas, Texas, 29 years old, going against, I don't know how to say his nickname, Costa, 19-6. Brazilian, 26 years old. Austin Lingo is not a guy that really impresses me. He's okay.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
Costa, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this fight. I'm gonna lean Costa because I don't like Lingo. How about you? I'm just gonna. I just don't care.
I think they kind of have like the same strengths. I think Costa's a little better, but if Lingo won this fight, I would not be surprised either. I don't know. This fight's a hard pass. That's what this fight is. So, and that's where I'm at with it. I think this fight's a hard fucking pass. I don't feel comfortable betting either one of these guys. Because I can see ways Lingo can win and I can see ways Costa can win. And I'd say maybe the fight doesn't go the distance. Might be live here, but I have to check. I have to check how these guys finish. I'm not sure how efficient of a finisher Costa is, but I do know, actually, see, like, Lingo's more of like a decision. He's an equal opportunity decision and finisher, right? Costa, same way, but more he finishes more. He's also had more fights. 13 stoppages on his win side and 6 decisions on his win side. So, I don't know. This fight scares the shit out of me to bet in any way, shape, or form. Probably going to be a great fight, by the way. I agree with you. I'm not very high on Austin Lingo, but not sure how to bet this fight.
Yeah, I don't have a good read on it.
Don't have a good read on it at all. So, yep, on to the next one.
Next up in the strawweight division for the women, we have Istela Nunes going one-on-one with Viktoriya Dudakova. Istela Nunes, 6-4, 3-fight losing streak, Brazil, 30 years old.
Horrible fight.
Not all disrespect. Dudakova, 6-0, Russian, 24 years old, making her debut. I'm going to lean Istela here. Only because Dudakova, I mean, she's hot, but I don't know what else she's going to bring to the table here.
It only means something if you could fight.
Yeah.
100%.
Istela Nunes, I mean, comes at you like a bat out of hell. She starts fast, she starts strong, but, tends to slow down. And then, that's what it's going to be a weird fight. I'm going to lean Nunes. I wouldn't be surprised if Dudakova does some weird shit and takes over late because Nunes just like gasses out or whatever. But Nunes, I'm going to lean Nunes with the experience and yeah. That's what I got.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I agree with you there. I think there's value in her at plus 175. No way I'm putting minus 205 on Viktoriya, and this is her UFC debut, and she's fought nobodies. She has like maybe 1 or 2 good skills, and that's about it. Yeah. Like there's nothing impressive about her game from the tape that I've seen.
Her striking's mediocre, and she only uses it to get the takedown. She wants to wrestle. She wants to fight on the ground.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and Istela Nunes, when she's got gas, she's hard to take down. So
she's hard to take down, and her striking, when she's flowing, she's filthy.
Yeah,
I think there's value on her at plus 175. Just like it's almost like that Carolina bet we made 2 weeks ago. Against that girl, they were pumping her hard. That girl was like a minus 300, man, and it's like, nah, dude. Like, there's levels to this game, and look who if I'm correct, Nunes has lost to Jaregi, who got flatlined last weekend. But Jaregi's a problem. She got stopped by her. Lost to Sam Hughes, who has a great gas tank, good pressure. And Carnelossi, who's a fucking tank. You know what I'm saying? I don't see... All those girls' skill sets don't apply to Viktoriya. You know what I'm saying? And Sam Hughes couldn't even finish her. I like Nunes as a live dog here, for sure. Will I bet it? I'm not sure because it is extremely low-level MMA, but I tell you what, I like Nunes' tools a little more than Viktoriya's. I will say that at plus 175, it's very tempting.
All right, next fight we have here looks like it's the main event for the prelims as currently constituted. We have Tucker Lutz going one-on-one with Melsik Baghdasaryan. Top gun Tucker Lutz, 12-3, 29 years old, fighting out of Maryland. going one-on-one with the gun, Melsik Baghdasaryan. 27, 7-2, fighting out of Armenia, 31 years old. If Tucker Lutz decides to wrestle here or use some kind of wrestling, I think there's a shot for him to win this. I kind of like Baghdasaryan. I like his striking way more than I do like Tucker Lutz's striking. Tucker Lutz is, I don't know. He's okay to me. I mean, Melsik is okay too, but I'll lean Melsik here for the win. What about you?
I'm going to lean Lutz. Lutz is a plus 140 dog, and he might be getting a bet from me. And here's why. Melsik is a very strong kickboxer. He's under Edmund Tarvarian, which is like, Edmund Shabazian's coach or Ronda Rousey's coach. One thing I know about that guy, he's not bringing in elite wrestlers to help with this guy, and Tucker Lutz can keep up pressure for 3 rounds. He lost to homeboy, the last dude, the zombie, Pineda, his last fight. But Pineda has that kind of fight-changing power, and Pineda's a dog. I'm not sure Melsik has been pushed to that limit yet, and I think Tucker Lutz is a borderline decent featherweight. I do. He's also big for the weight class, even though he's built like my grandfather, where he has no legs, no ass, and he's just a big torso. I think Lutz might be getting a bet this weekend for me. I'm not going to fade him. He's my lean for sure. Might bet him. But he's at plus 140. I feel like it's disrespectful, especially since Melsik hasn't really fought. Who's Melsik fought? Kulabau. But Kulabau is not really trying to take him down either. Like, he's fought guys that will stand up with him. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to finally be in there with a wrestler and a guy who's not that small. So I like Tucker Lutz as a live dog in this fight. I really do.
Yeah, this might be Dorga Pass.
Yeah. Not that much of a size difference. Yep. It's interesting. Tucker Lutz is my lean. Might be my bet. On to the next.
All right, to kick off the main card here, we have Terrance McKinney going one-on-one with Nazim Sadykhov. T-Rex McKinney, 13-5, fighting out of Spokane, Washington, 28 years old, going one-on-one with the Black Wolf, Nazim Sadykhov. Hailing from Azerbaijan, as he's Azerbaijani. Fighting out of Brooklyn, though. Fighting out of Long Island. New York, you know what I'm saying? 29 years old. This is one of those things where I think this is McKinney early, but if McKinney gets extended, I think this is Nazim. I like McKinney. I know he's young, but he's also got a lot of fights. So I feel like he's kind of a finished product. You kind of know what you're going to get from McKinney. I don't know how much he can grow and kind of improve on his game. Explosive, strong, powerful, can wrestle. But I think Sadykhov is the more technical, more cerebral. I think he's smarter in terms of like IQ. Like, when you hear this guy talk, he can articulate himself really well. He's the thinking man's fighter. And initially I was on McKinney here, but I think I might lean Sadykhov late. I think this fight probably just doesn't go to distance. So the safe bet, if you're going to bet it, is going to be the under 2.5 maybe. Fight doesn't go. Under
1.5 is live too. It's under 1.5 is minus 180 right now on DraftKings. And I only see, I think Terrance McKinney's only been to the second round once against Bonfim. He got finished early in that round.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Sadykhov. Not with the most it's not my most confident pick, but just a gut feeling. But I think the way to bet it is probably maybe the unders. What about you?
I like McKinney in this fight. I like him a lot, especially at dog money. He's plus 115. I think this is going to be I thought you forgot fight for Terrance McKinney. I think people are overweighing the Ishmael Bonfim fight a little too much because he kind of got tagged up, This fight, the under 1.5, I think is definitely playable. And if you want the real I thought Nazim was getting his ass kicked against Elder, and I think Terrance McKinney's a better Elder. Let's just keep it real. He's more athletic. He has a better wrestling acumen, and he hits way harder. I like Terrance McKinney. I like him also possibly for a first-round stoppage. Of course, because he don't fight out of it. But what I will say is I am curious to see what his approach is, especially as a young fighter, because if you notice in the Bonfim fight, part of it was Bonfim, but I think part of it was him, where he wanted to fight a more patient game plan. If Terrance McKinney fights patient, he is going to be very fucking dangerous. Would pick his shots, use his wrestling effectively, get him to the floor, sub him. I think McKinney is much more talented than Sadykhov, and I think he's better than Elder. And Elder, if that cut doesn't happen, this fight gets stopped.
I don't know. The only thing that worries me is that he tried to be patient with Bonfim.
Yeah, but Sadykhov is not the finisher Bonfim is, unless I'm bugging, right?
Sadykhov is pretty solid, actually.
He's all right. Like Bonfim,
he's only been a decision once.
Yeah, Bonfim is he just has more precision than this guy, man. Not to shit on Sadykhov. I think Bonfim is real. I think he's the real deal. Yeah, he lost to Saint Denis, but he also fought like a dumbass in that fight. But like if he puts it together and he honed it in the way he did against Terrance, yeah, the unders on this fighter is definitely the play. You're correct, by the way. He is a finisher. He does finish. He's only been in a decision once, but once again, who has he fought outside of he's outside of Evan Elder, where he was getting his ass whooped. It's easy to beat up guys that aren't that good. I'm gonna be quite frank with you. Especially when you get to this UFC level, a lot of those guys that are finishers, they're not really finishers. Not at this level. So, yeah, this fight not to go the distance, because if Terrance doesn't get him out of the way in the first round, he's gonna gas and he's gonna get finished himself. So I like the under round and a half here. It's minus 180, which I don't want to put down, but that's rough. But by leans Terrance, and probably Terrance by stoppage. I'm going to go that far.
All right, next fight we have here in the lightweight division, we have Atman Atazir, the Bulldozer, going one-on-one with Francisco Prado. Atazir, 13-1. Fighting out of Morocco. Or fighting out of Germany, but hailing from Morocco. 33 years old, going one-on-one with Prado, who is 11-1. Fighting out of Argentina, hailing from Argentina, 21 years old. This is another fight where I don't know who's going to win. I do like violence. Bet-wise, I think the unders hit. I don't think anybody is going to walk out of this one. But I'm going to lean Prado. He's the younger guy. I think, he's the very younger guy. I think he's got a lot more, room to improve. And I trust his chin a little more. And, yeah, I'm going to lean Prado here for a finish. What about you?
I agree. And he's only fought Jamie Malarkey. Ottoman has fought Kama Wervey and Mafrovola, who is, just sent Drew Dober to Satan's basement. But I like Prado here, and I like Prado because Prado has the better chin. I think his pressure is really good. I think he took Jamie Malarkey, if I'm correct, on last minute notice, and that was a Jamie Malarkey that was reformed. Not going to stand there and bang, stood on the outside, and he still managed to have his moments in that fight while not getting finished. So Jamie is a builder too. So the fact that he was able to stay in there, I think that was good experience for Prado. I don't know if I like it enough to bet it, because I think this is a proven spot for both of these gentlemen. It's a pick 'em for a reason, but Prado's my lean. Don't know if I'm going to bet it.
All right, next fight we have here in the main card. This is looking like the featured bout. We have Norman Dumont going one-on-one with Chelsea Chandler in the featherweight division, the division that refuses to die. We got the Immortal Dumont, 9-2, hailing from Brazil, 32 years old, going one-on-one with Chelsea Chandler, 5-1, fighting out of Stockton, 32 years old. I go back and forth on this. I know Chelsea Chandler got hands. I know she can bang. But I don't know how to bet Dumont. I'm just gonna bet Dumont here. I feel like, or not bet. I don't know how. I don't think I'm gonna bet anything on this card, low key. But that's whatever. I don't know. I'm not feeling this card. I think Dumont wins here, only because I feel like Chandler is gonna kind of fight the fight that Dumont wants here, and I trust Dumont on the ground a little more. I think. I don't know. I'm gonna lean Dumont, not confidently. Don't know who the favorite is. Probably Dumont.
She is. She's a minus 140.
Who do you got on this fight?
God, I feel like it's kind of crazy, right? I like Dumont probably by decision here, but I think Chelsea Chandler is live. And here's why. I think Chelsea hits extremely hard. She's training out of the Nick Diaz. She's a Chick Diaz, apparently. That's what they're calling her now. Her and the other lady, I forgot her name. But,
Leslie Smith.
Leslie Smith. How could I forget poor Leslie Smith? I'm so sorry, Leslie Smith. But I think Chelsea, she has like that Stockton attitude, like that Diaz attitude, but she doesn't fight a lot like these guys. I think she's a little more calculated. I think she has big power. Probably the biggest puncher that Norma has fought outside of Megan Anderson. Very good chance that she can pack this girl up too. I gotta lean Norma. I'm very back and forth with this fight too for a lot of reasons. It might be dog or pass. So I might lean Norma and put a bet on Chelsea, but Norma via decision sounds like the best play for this fight. I just see her hugging her, putting up against the fence. She's going to beat a bigger girl, even though she's not going to have more height than Chelsea Chandler or reach, but she's going to be thicker, and she has fought at this weight class before as well, too. Chelsea is technically a 35er, where Norma would have to probably get a butt reduction because she got a big old ass and to make 35. So yeah, I gotta lean Norma here. I gotta lean Norma by decision. I don't think she finishes Chelsea. Chelsea's a tough girl, so Norma by decision. I feel like this fight's probably gonna get my money. I just don't know how. It's gonna be Norma by decision or Chelsea Chandler is a live dog. That's how I'm gonna leave it.
All right, here at the co-main event, we have a banger. Maybe. Albert Duraev going one-on-one with Jung Young Park. Albert Duraev, 16-4. Hailing from Russia, fighting out of Las Vegas, 34 years old. Going against the Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park. 16-5. Fighting out of South Korea. Hailing from South Korea, 32 years old. Both these guys are solid. Duraev is okay. I bet against Duraev all the time. I think he's a little overrated. Low output. I'm going to lean the Iron Turtle here. I just like his output a little more. I think the Turtle's got a little more dog in him. He should be the Iron Dog. But yeah, I'm going to lean Jung Young Park here. I think he's the side. Don't know how I'm going to bet it, but for pick's sake, I'm going to go to Turtle. I'm going Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park. What about you?
Jung Young Park as well. And the reason I say Jung Young Park as well is because Albert Duraev got taken down by Joaquin Buckley, who, and I'm not saying Joaquin can't grapple. I'm not saying he can't wrestle. I'm not saying that he's not an explosive athlete. That all helped and factored in. I just think Jung Young Park does have good technical takedowns, knows how to really work the single leg, transition, switch to the double leg. He knows how to chain wrestle really well. Also knows how to pull at your ankles, get to your back. Yeah, I kind of like Jung Young Park in here, and he's a minus 145 favorite. He might be getting a bet from me as well. I do like him, though, in this spot. I just think that he does better things with the wrestling and in the exchanges. He knows where to be, where not to be, knows how to avoid big power. He's been in there with guys who can crack. He has been stopped by guys who can crack, but Albert Duraev does not hit like the guys that he has fought. Like he fought RoboCop. Dude, RoboCop will murk anyone, dude. He's fought Eric Anders, who I think hits a little harder than Duraev. Tuelin has better striking, no ground game, which is why he was able to choke him out. But Tuelin moves his feet a little better than Duraev. Yeah, I like the Iron Turtle here. I like him significantly. Actually, I might bet him, to be quite frank. But he's definitely my lean. Possibly going to be my bet at -145 as well. But Duraev does have a ground game. He does have a good amount of submissions too. So let's be mindful of that too. I want to watch a little more fight footage on this before I give you guys a determination. But follow us on our social media platforms and we'll definitely educate you with a good bet.
All right, we're finally here. The main event. We got Holm going one-on-one with Mayra Bueno Silva. The preacher's daughter. 41 years old. 41 years old. 41 years old. 15-6, fighting out of Albuquerque. Going against Shitara Bueno Silva. 10-2, 10-2-1. Fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 31 years old. This fight is
it's a great fight, by the way. It just should not be headlining a card.
I think it's going to be a solid fight. I mean, main event, so it's going to be a 5-rounder. I want to say that Holm probably wins this fight. But I think this might be dog or pass. And this is just a gut feeling. I could be completely wrong.
Just like those same people who had Dricus as a gut feeling last weekend.
I mean, I didn't have any kind of gut feeling about that.
No,
Rob,
such a shocker.
What a fucking disappointment of a fight. Rob Whittaker got washed by a jab.
Yeah. He's a big dude, man.
I mean, yeah, Dricus is a big dude, though. Pause. But I think this is Bueno Silva. I think if you're going to bet this, I don't know how to bet this. I don't know how to bet anything anymore. Like I said, 290 took my soul. I'm going to say Holly is probably the pick, but I think the bet has got to be Bueno Silva. And I think if you're going to bet Bueno Silva inside the distance, particularly by sub, there is a chance Holm, if you're going to bet Holm, you pick her by decision. There is a chance Holm could probably finish this fight, only because Bueno Silva gasses. But I don't know. This is just a gut feeling. I like Bueno Silva. And if you're going to bet her, you could bet her money line, because she's probably the dog, right?
She is. She's +145.
You want to get sneaky, bet the sub, because that's probably her most likely path to victory. But
+350.
She's also got hands too. And Holm has been changing her game up a little more where, she's been less of the striking type and more of the grappling type. But that kind of plays into Bueno Silva's game, so it's a little weird. So I don't know.
Holly, I feel, has got to be the old Holly to win this fight.
Yeah, she's got to keep it striking. She's got to keep it at distance, not engage in the clinch.
Yeah, because Maria will jump guard.
Yeah, she'll trip her. She wants it in the clinch. She hits hard.
Yeah, she hits extremely hard. I agree with you. For one reason or the other, guys, and I'm going to say this, Holly's the lean, but I think the bet's going to be Mayra. And I think the bet's going to be Mayra because Mayra just has a lot of places where she can win this fight. She has great power. No girl in this division wants to be in her guard.
It's just her gas. Her gas is like if she didn't gas out, this be probably an easier bet.
Much easier bet.
But
Holly's a big girl for the division.
It's gonna be weird to see Bueno Silva kind of pace herself for 5 rounds and not gas herself
against a girl with high output.
Yeah,
high output and high pressure.
You don't gotta worry about gas on Holm.
No.
Yeah.
Even at 41, So
but she's also 41.
She's 41.
41. Did I mention she was 41? It's just, Father Time has got to fucking catch up sooner or later.
Well, mother time for her.
She ain't the preacher's daughter. She the preacher's granddaughter.
No,
she the preacher's mama.
She's the preacher's mama, yeah.
The preacher's grandmama. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just, I think.
Yeah, gut feeling, Maria.
It's just a gut feeling.
Gut feeling is too,
and
yeah.
I think this is dog or pass.
Well, good, Maria. Mayra. I just think Mayra presents a lot of problems for her. I do. I think on the feet, with the power. I also think if Holly's just gonna wrestle her or keep up against the cage, it kind of plays into her game, and she will jump guard. Her guard is nasty in this division. Like, she'll sub anyone in this division. She is a really good grappler. So I gotta lean. I'm leaning dog here. I'm also leaning the line for her sub, which is plus 350. I'm gonna see if I can find it in a better place. Maybe on FanDuel they have a very good line on it if they've released it yet. But on DraftKings it's plus 350. I think that's how you play this fight, where the value's at. And I think Holly can win this fight by decision, which I would not be surprised about. But at the same time, I also think that Mayra is dangerous at all points of this fight, as long before she gasses, which is the first 2 rounds. So Holly's gotta get to survive the first 2 rounds, and then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, at dog money, I'm not mad at it yet. They don't have any lines released on this, so. But yeah, Holly Holm's the lean. Mayra might be the bet.
Yeah,
for sure.
The classic dog or pass. Yeah,
dog or pass.
I mean, maybe not. I mean, because the line is close. So like, if you like Holly, just better that by decision, because that's most likely. If it gets to decision, it's more than likely Holly.
See, but here's the thing too. I think you probably just bet the money line, because if you want the real, like, she can stop her late.
Yeah,
because Mayra gasses.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. This is a fight where we're gonna watch. I want to see how Mayra looks in the scale. What's her conditioning look like? How's she talking? I want to hear
her
everything.
Mindset, how focused she is. Yeah,
absolutely. Because if she comes in there and she says, "I'm gonna be very patient," I like her in this spot. If she comes in there and she looks like good on the weight, on the scale, I like her. I like her because if she fights patient, she's very dangerous. She can crack.
Yeah, and she's not afraid to walk, like, if you remember her Holly's last fight with last fight.
Oh, the one before that?
The one where she lost by split decision to Vieira.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say she struggled a little bit with Vieira, but she kind of wanted to not strike and engage with Vieira.
Even though she is technically the better striker.
And I think, and I agree, but it's just the power.
The power. And I think she fears the power.
And Bueno Silva is one of those girls where she's not afraid to
sit in the pocket and sit in the pocket and land on your chin.
To give one. Yep.
I agree.
And her leg kicks are very underrated as well.
Very.
So
she can stifle Holly's movement. Yeah. There's value, I feel, in Mayra this weekend. Don't know if I'm going to bet it, but
might be my only bet, low key.
Straight up. It's crazy. This card is rough, guys. And that's the end of the card, by the way. So I'm glad you sat here with us through this. And we're sorry you had to endure this card, because some of these names you've probably never heard of in your life. And some of them do have records that are juiced to the tits that are outside of the UFC. So,
yeah,
they're kind of just like, I don't want to say they're padded records. Let's just keep it real. So there's a lot of spots I don't like in this card. If there are bets, they're gonna be minimal. They're gonna be very minimal. And with that said, like I said, this is a wrap. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
And everybody enjoying the YouTube portion of this, please hit that subscribe button. Please leave a comment, and please hit the notification bell to stay up to date when we drop these episodes.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast. Love y'all. Episode 21 in the books. Holla. Show some love. Later.